Yeah, and I'm just trying to think from my own perspective, would I do it? How would I do it differently, right? Especially because this is for storytellers. If we were to tell our story any differently, how would I? How would you tell it? Is there anything that comes to mind that you would say, "Oh, if I were to redo this, I would change this or I would change that"?
Now about the movie,
Yeah.
I would probably like make the plot. Well, for one thing, I would give the villain a little bit more like nuance, like give him a little bit more character development.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't know, maybe do more flashbacks or something with the character and Colt to show their relationship a little bit more, or like somehow intertwine, like, or like somehow like show more of Tom Ryder in the movie and show us a little bit more about his character aside from what we've already seen, so we get a fuller picture of who he was, and
Hmm.
then maybe tie the relationship a little bit more to that subplot because like they could have like directly threatened Jodie at some points in the movie. They could have used her against
Hmm.
Colt if they wanted to. Like that could
Hmm.
have happened, but that never does. So there is an aspect where
Hmm.
um like they could have intertwined the plots a little bit more and maybe like
Yeah,
and that would make the movie a little bit more strong thematically, especially about honesty and like the stakes and everything going on, and the tension.
that's a good point, and I think it's interesting to even consider Tom Ryder perhaps with, and this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but maybe a relationship of some degree. How does he relate to Jody Moreno's character, or Jody Moreno as a character, excuse me, and what does that look like, right? Because he's the main actor in the movie, she's the director now. Clearly, he's worked with her in the
No, no, actually,
past.
I actually know something I would change. I just realized this is something I would change for the movie.
Hmm.
Um, I would have made Tom Ryder have an infatuation with Jodie at the very beginning of the movie. And the reason I would have done that is
Hmm.
because when it's revealed that he messed with the rigging that day so that Colt Seavers got hurt, so like he's responsible for the accident, it gives a little bit more. Not only does it make more sense, it just shows Tom Ryder's like arrogance in a certain way because like he's shown to be
Hmm.
this arrogant person
Hmm.
and he gets whatever he wants. So in a way, if we had shown that he actually liked Jodie Moreno, like he wanted her to like him, but she liked Colt Seavers, his stunt double, that would have been like a humiliating thing in a certain way, where it's like his
Hmm.
shadow, his like the guy who's supposed to represent him on screen is clearly the better guy in her eyes. That would have just added more like antagon like from his perspective, it would have made more sense. It was like if he's this narcissistic person, it would have just really like been humiliating on a certain level, and it would have given more credence to his like actions to hurt Colt Seavers.
Yeah.
It would have,
Well,
like it would have added more stakes to the movie too, because it's like okay, he likes Jodie too, and he doesn't like Colt Seavers because Colt Seavers and her had this relationship for a time.
yeah. Because if you just have it like it is in the movie, where Tom Ryder decides to just cut Colt Seavers down a couple pegs just for the sake of it, because he thinks
Mm-hmm.
he's getting too hot in his britches, then it doesn't really have any emotional stakes or any emotional payoff in any way. You just go, oh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
fun fact. He actually sabotaged him. But it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
play into, it doesn't even really play into Colt's mindset at all, really, other than, oh, I actually wasn't responsible for my own pain that I
Mm-hmm.
experienced.
Yeah.
And so what? Because he's already come to terms to some degree with who he is. It
Yeah.
really, whether he did it or not doesn't matter. What matters is that he's honest with Jody.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
the accident was kind of meaningless. But yeah, if it was related to Colt as a character and his relationship with Jody, that could have been very interesting.
yeah, and on top of that, if we're talking about the themes of honesty, uh, because then in that case you'd have both Tom Ryder and Colt Seavers being dishonest,
Hmm.
and then it would have been more like who's going to be the honest one. And when Colt becomes honest, you'd show Tom Ryder still being dishonest or whatever. You would have just showed like it would have been added more depth to that whole story arc and those themes and emotions.
Yeah, exactly.